Hello, it's Steve here again from the StudioOne Soapbox. In today's short video, just want to take a look at the latest update of StudioOne, which is 3.3. And rather than do a full overview, as other people have already done that and done it far better than what I could, I just thought I would take a look and share with you what advantages I found from the new update that helped me in my workflow. Now, everybody's different, everybody does things differently, and so some things mean more to others. And that's just the way it is with these updates, isn't it? Sometimes we get what we want, other times we're left frustrated because there were certain things that we need to do and still find it very difficult to do because it hasn't been implemented as a feature as of yet. So without further ado, the first major update for me, if we come over to here, is this global button. And what does it do? It simply turns off all your processing. So say you'd been working away at your mix, slapping plugins here, there and everywhere, doing your tweaks, EQ moves, compression moves, and saturation, whatever it happens to be, reverbs, so on and so forth. And you're thinking you've created a killer mix. And then you're thinking back to the raw tracks that you received. And you're thinking, I wonder, have I actually made this better, made it worse, or even just it simply sounds the same after all those hours of work. Now we can test that out by simply clicking this little button here, which disables all plugins, everything that you've inserted. So if I play a little bit of this tune and then I disable the plugins, you'll hear the massive difference. Let's disable that. 0 plugins. Add them back in. Okay, so as you can hear, I really need to sort out the gain staging there. Because when the plugins come in, you can hear the volume going up, and that's not what we're after, because any volume rise at all, as we've said in previous videos, will convince you that your mix sounds better. Just one of those weird things. So that's the first major feature. We've all been asking that for some time. Gladly, it's here. Next up, which I found very frustrating about StudioOne when I moved across, was say I wanted to send multiple channels to a bus. That used to be quite a lengthy, laborious process where I had to come in here and, let's see, let's click, we'll just add a bus channel. We'll drag it to the end here. So let's say I want to send these channels to this bus, or I want to send a few individual channels. So say I want to send this one, send to, well, we used to go send to bus 1, oh I sent this, I have to go bus 1, send this, oh I have to go bus 1. That was really annoying back in the day. And then you had to set your, did you want a pre-fader? You had to click across all those again. Absolutely annoying, to say the least. Very laborious, very time consuming, especially if you're working with 60 to 100 tracks. So now, if we want to send to this bus, what we simply do is just highlight, say I want to send the kick, I will send the piano and send the electric guitar to this bus. You simply highlight the tracks you want. In this case, I'm just clicking on them whilst holding down Control, whatever that is on a Mac, I'm not quite sure. So now we've got our 3 tracks highlighted. I come down, send to bus 1, boom, there you go. Fantastic. Really time consuming is just taking care of now and sending the buses. Excellent. Now say we decided, oh no, don't want that to happen. The 3 tracks are still highlighted. Come down, remove, gone. Fabulous. Again, this is excellent. If I just remove this little bus now. The same thing for adding plugins. Although it had improved greatly, now we have extra features. So say for instance I want to add a console, say a console to these right across my tracks. I come down, highlight them all. Let's go for, we'll add Satson. Where are we? There we go, Satson channel. Watch our tracks. Boom. Now if I move that up in line with the rest of them, as it should be, and I'm thinking I'm playing this back, let's play this back. Right, and we're thinking, is that making a difference? Well, with all the tracks highlighted, I can click on this one. That whole row is now taken out. Add them back in. Take them out. So as you can see, that's excellent. Or if I want to, I don't like this at all, remove. They're gone. Isn't that excellent? Really helps with my workflow. Between being able to do that with sounds, being able to do that with plugins, and now the global taking all our plugins off button, I mean, straight away I can hear that, you know, my gain staging is all wrong, which happens a lot when you're adding plugins. You forget about gain staging sometimes, and you don't realize that you've actually just upped the volume, and you're thinking it sounds better. When really, when you level match your listening, you can decide whether you've done something good, bad, or just plain made no difference whatsoever. Excellent. 2 features there. Lovely jubbly. Another great feature, if I put our plugins back on, is the ability to disable a VST. So if I do this, and as you can see, we have easy keys here on this track. So say we run out of CPU power. As you can see, I'm pretty close to it. I'm spiking a bit here, but this isn't my main PC. This is just for doing these little videos on, and it is very low spec. At the minute, actually, I haven't dived in on my main unit. I have a few projects, and I always wait till I've got those finished, done, and out of the way before I do the latest update. And also, putting it onto this little PC helps me check and see if anything has cropped up that, you know, some little bugs in the code and what have you like that. But another third feature, if I right-click on this VST, is the ability to disable VSTs and tracks, and I believe you can do I think you can do this with plugins as well. But so if I click on this, because I'm finding there, boom, disabled. Look at my performance meter. You know, let me right click that again and enable it. Watch the performance meter go crazy. Boom, there's it back. And as you can see, you know, with Greg Wells pianics centric and virtual tape machines and what have you, all bumping up the CPU on this little machine. But there's easy keys back, you know. So that's handy, especially if you're on a lower spec machine and you can disable tracks that maybe you have a lot of processing on, and this would allow you to carry on in your mix. Excellent little feature as well. Fourthly, the other thing that I found useful was whenever we come to the console shaper. Hold on, I should actually put up the CPU thing. Let's keep our performance monitor over there, and if we engage console shaper, Now, beforehand, Console Shaper would have sent the CPU, especially with easy keys and stuff like that on this little computer, would have sent it off the scale. But they've made improvements with Console Shaper, and it's not as heavy on a hog on the CPU. As you can see, it's round about one, bouncing between 1 and 5, the Console Shaper. It used to be quite a bigger footprint than that on your CPU power drain. So hopefully they haven't reduced the quality of the Console Shaper to do that, but simply made some tweaks in the code and what have you. So that's another excellent welcome feature there. As we know, the Console Shaper is a class bit of kit and well worth introducing to your mixes. So that's the pros that have worked for me and have been very welcome additions. So let's go with a few things that are still not quite right. A lot of people are having problems, even with StudioOne just starting up, because it freezes and locks up the program. This is an issue with Melodyne, and I believe at present you can log into your account in Presonus, and there is a new download of Melodyne, the integrated version that comes with it, and I believe, I have no experience, but I believe that that is fixed. And if not, the boys at Presonus will definitely be getting stuck in there and getting that sorted out. Also, another major problem, I believe, I haven't experienced it myself, is that when it comes to layers, people, let's see if I don't think I can really demonstrate it, but what people are having is problems with layers. When you go to solo them, there's no sound. Presonus are aware of that as well, so I believe, and are working on a fix for that. The integration with Notion 6 doesn't really affect me that much. I don't really use Notion. I don't really use anything like that. I've always been in studios and we've worked off charts, and it's just been a simple, jotting down chord charts and just giving them random numbers so that these are easily transported. So you'd have maybe 1, 4, 5 being the chord sequence. Then that means that can be, we need to change this to a D from a C, whatever it happens. And we just worked off charts that way. So that's how I have worked with any charts. I don't read music myself, but I know that Notion and programs like that can be handy for other people. There is a slice mode as well that has been introduced for dealing with drums. I don't really want to get into that either. For me, that was something that came off the back of Pro Tools and is really aimed at Pro Tools users who used Beat Detective and sliced up their drums. But there's far easier ways of doing that type of thing now. You have Drumagog, which you can simply take out all the bleed from all your tracks and adjust it. Excellent program, highly recommended. We also have another program called Drum Leveler from Sound Radix, I think that is. Also another excellent program. Not only can you level match all your drums to see if you happen to introduce samples and stuff, which is debatable. Do we need to sample in the drums? Do we not? It depends what side you fall on the fence, I suppose. So Drum Leveler as well and Drumagog, both excellent programs. Look those up on the internet, download and get going with those, and you'll find you don't really need to use that old school Beat Detective slicing up all your drums. They have improved it greatly here, but as I say, I do feel they're aiming that more at people porting over from Pro Tools who are used to doing the Beat Detective thing. And really at the minute, that's everything covered for me. As I said, the two major issues really at the minute. S1 is freezing up due to the Melodyne that it's integrated. I believe there's a fix at Presonus. Also, slowly in layers is a big problem for people. There's no sound coming through. So I would expect another little maintenance update to come through brave and quick on that, and that should sort those two programs out. Overall, I'm very pleased. I found the ability to just send to, if I just do add a bus channel again, to pick, say we want to do our kick, that, and send those to our bus one. Boom. Love that feature. Excellent. So I want to click there, hold down shift, highlight all those, and I want to add Satsun, just a console emulator. Boom, there it is across all the channels. And the ability to then take that out of the equation, see if it's doing any good, add it back in. Same with the buses, take the sends off, take the sends on. Make them unity gain and pre-fader. As long as you have the channels highlighted, these things are easily sorted out. I would say maybe a couple of features for a future update. Let's remove these here. Clean this up a bit. Remove the sends. Bada bing, bada boom. Remove the bus. And we're back again. So a few things. If we come up here to our track list. Now, when you're getting sent sessions and there's 60 to 100 tracks, you really need something, especially like a track list, which you can do in other DAWs, where you can sort things out. So at the minute we can right click here and we have quite a few options. We can edit a track, hide track, show it in the console, duplicate the track group. So that's quite good. We can even disable from here now. We can transform from here. So that's good. But say for instance, I want to highlight the kick and the stick. Let's try doing that. Nope. You know, so whenever a track comes in here, and maybe you have a list of a whole load of drum tracks, and they're at the bottom of your session or the end of your session in the console view, and you want to highlight all those, drag them up to the top, because I don't know about you, but I think most people have drums first, followed by bass guitar, followed by guitars, and usually you have your vocals towards the end. So it would be nice to have a track list where we can drag these around. Now, I can collect the kick and drop it to the bottom singly on its own, but there doesn't seem to be a way to do the kick if I hold down shift and click on that. Nope. Control, no. Alt, no. Control Alt, no. Control Shift, no. Alt Shift, no. There is no way of selecting multiple tracks and being able to drag them up and down, which means that, you know, say this is 60 tracks long. The only other option is to highlight that in the console view, and then you have to drag these to the end. And if you have 60 tracks here and you're dragging them through the console, you know, lengthy process, drag them back again because you've made a mistake. And that seems to be the only way to do that. So for sorting out tracks, especially if 60 to 100 tracks and you want to sort them out quickly, doing it from a track list is far handier. So if they would update that, that would be a most excellent feature, especially for my workflow. The other thing that still haven't got is the ability to lock tracks. So if you're scrolling through, let's get rid of this. If you're scrolling through, you have 60, 100 tracks, whatever, 40 tracks even, and you're editing here, busy adding your cuts, your fades, splicing things, moving things around, and you accidentally move, say, a clip on another track, or an event, as they're called in StudioOne, and you don't realize that because, you know, you're scrolling up and down through multiple tracks. We need a lock. We need a lock clip feature or lock event feature. We have been asking for that for quite a while, so hopefully that'll be implemented too. And overall, I think we're getting pretty close to having StudioOne where we all need it and want it to be. I'm sure there's other features that you feel should be added. Please leave them in the comments below. Very interested to hear what other people think would make welcome additions to this wonderful program. So just wrapping it all up, the one-click global on-off button, which is positioned here, the highlighting and doing your sans or adding inserts, and disabling them and enabling them all with one click now. Excellent. The ability to disable VSTs when it's hogging your CPU and you want to carry on with your mix. Excellent. Console shaper itself, taking up a smaller footprint and not hogging CPU resources, especially if you have a load of them on multiple buses and what have you. The things that didn't work for me: integration with Notion. I don't use the program. S1 freezing with Melodyne. I didn't have that issue myself, but there again I have a Melodyne Studio version. I don't use the integrated version with StudioOne. Also soloing layers and having no sound. I haven't really had that issue yet, but I know it has been quite prevalent for others. And the beat detective slice mode, I don't really use that. I now use Drum Leveler or Drumagog, two excellent programs. Go take a look at those and research those. Excellent for taking out the bleed between different mics on a drum kit and for leveling out the sounds, because maybe you had a drummer who's bashing the living daylights out of the snare and then a couple of soft beats here and there and it's throwing things off. Easily taken care of with Drum Leveler now. So that's that. I'll just wrap it up now. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the video, and happy mixing, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.